So, hey everybody, Ananias here, and in commemoration of, I guess you could say, of my having watched the original Predator in the theater this last week, uh, and of course being on an Atari Jaguar kick here recently, thought I'd pull out Alien vs Predator on the Atari Jaguar. And this is one that, believe it or not, I have not really played. Um, and by believe it or not, it's more of, I guess that statement's more for myself, because this was a game that I absolutely wanted more than anything for this system. This was the big one for me. This is also the one that most Jaguar fans will point to as far as having the best graphics and this and that. So we're gonna take a close look at it. I remember one of the video game magazines at the time. It's probably Electronic Gaming Monthly, but it might have been Game Pro. I remember them saying that it had translucent graphics, and for whatever reason, that really stood out to me. The thought that you could see things behind other things it was kind of a novel concept. So we'll jump into this, but just keep in mind you're seeing this, or I'm seeing this rather, pretty much the first time, I guess, with you if you've never seen this game. This is also one of the more expensive Atari Jaguar games. I've actually got it complete. I picked it up a couple of years ago, and it wasn't that expensive. I mean, it was probably $100, but I dare say I would be very surprised if it's not significantly higher than that now. Just video game prices are, wow, that is not a great rendition of the Predator. Anyway, video game prices have just gone insane. The retro game. So okay, let's see. Maybe okay. Let's try just the Marine first. I know that that's kind of dull. Okay, no, you know what? I was gonna say that's dull, but at least give us an idea of what it looks like. Let's you know what? Screw it. Let's just go all out Predator. Let's see what this is all about here. Points by killing without honor. Point gain access. Claim the skull of the alien queen. Okay, so that's my ultimate goal, I guess. Attack when visible to gain honor and points. Lose points by killing. Okay, so press fire. Well, you haven't told me what button fire is yet, so okay, well it's not C. It looks like it might be B. Seriously? Okay, wow. That I feel like I just jumped into the middle. Okay, I have to admit, this is a little bit of a letdown. Yes, it does have translucent graphics. I can see right through the orange to more orange. So, all right, let's see if I can figure out what these buttons do. I don't know. That doesn't do anything. This game also, by the way, as of right now, it looks like B is the only button that does anything. Now, the keypad at the bottom, for those of you that are familiar with this game, or for those of you that aren't, there's an overlay that's on the number pad at the bottom of the Atari Jaguar controller. Okay, let me back up a little bit further. The Atari Jaguar controller has a number pad at the at the bottom of it that looks just like a keypad on a phone or what have you, and each button does something different. Um, Now it may be that I have to pick these things up because I'm pushing the buttons right now and it's not none of them's doing anything. So I may have to pick that stuff up. Okay, so that's how you strafe. Wow, that is so horribly inconvenient, or no, inconvenient, that I will never use that. Okay, and it looks like none of the buttons do anything. But if you don't have the overlay, then you can't tell what the buttons do on the keypad. And literally, I'm looking down through here, and I can only assume the bottom row doesn't do anything because it's got a star symbol and a hashtag, just like you would on a normal phone. And the center one is just a button where the predator, there's a little a little picture of a predator head on the very bottom center. So I don't think it does anything. The top two rows look like various weapons, or this one has an eye next to it. So I almost wonder if that's invisibility. And then I've got like a health kit button, and then I've got the two strafing buttons, and I've got a map button. So that's the only one that seems to actually be doing anything. So let's get rid of that. I've got enough orange on the screen already. I thought I might have like a med kit already like built into me, like in the movie, but that's all I seem to be able to do. Like, I wonder if I hold that in if it does anything different. No, okay. So it looks like you don't have to keep pushing. But gosh, I'm really surprised how horribly ugly this is. As much as I've heard that this is one of the more powerful Jaguar games. If memory serves, they kind of kept putting this one off and kept pushing it back, and I don't know. I can't even tell what my health is supposed to be. Like, okay, I can down in the bottom right. Looks like there's a face with a 0 next to it. There's something with a 4, and when I use that little meter thing goes down. See if I can drop it all the way down to where the number 4 is. You see that there in the bottom right. And I can see that okay, I've got a little arm with a torpedo on it. Obviously, that's my little hook thing there. Okay. But yeah, you hear about this game a lot. Yeah, and I also, another reason I think that people point to this one is that I'm pretty sure this is the only console version of this game, and maybe the only version at all, because as far as I know, it wasn't in the arcade. Now, the arcade did see an Alien versus Predator game, and I actually have a version of that on my emulator. And I say a version of it just because I haven't played it, so I don't know if there's variations on it, because where it's basically on emulation. There may be differences. People do different things with emulators or emulated games sometimes. What is that? But anyways, it looks like, I don't know. It's a side-scrolling brawler, so it's okay. That's a dead body. It's a side-scrolling brawler. It looks like on the right I've got columns, or in my sorry, on the right side I have a column with a 1, 2, and 3 with a meter next to it. Almost like, I feel like I should be able to change weapons, but this is very confusing. But I went ahead and bought this game complete, like I said, and it's only because how much I wanted the game growing up. That's really all it boiled down to. So I've got the keypads, I've got the little cardboard insert, and everything. Why are the walls changing color, like on the map? Like, why are they blue right there? Like, you see that? Like a bluish, grayish, green color. Just kind of weird. Anyway, okay. So let's see. I honestly think that Brutal Sports Football actually looked better than this. And this is on actual hardware. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not. I guess I kind of hinted at it, saying I've got a complete copy of the game, but this is actual hardware. I'm running it through a line doubler with a smoothing filter turned on. I would try to turn it off so you guys could maybe see the difference, and that may be what's causing some artifacts. But the problem is whenever I start mucking around with the line doubler and the settings, the Elgato's not real happy about that, and sometimes I lose connection completely. So I'd really rather not try to do that while I'm navigating this horribly, horribly ugly game. I mean, everything looks identical. There's no way on God's green earth, if you didn't have this map on the screen, that you could navigate this absolute colossal mess. There's not even anything to fight. And, like, there's nothing to pick up. Well, I mean, I'm sure there probably is eventually things to pick up. But why... can I not hit that guy? I can't even tell if I'm hitting something. Like, I felt like I was caught on something. This combat system, or it just kind of reminds me of the fighting in the original Morrowind on the Xbox. You just kind of like stand there and whack away at stuff, and it just, sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of like rolling dice or something, I guess. I'm just, I'm really, I'm almost at a loss for words. There's nothing but various shades of orange. At least the floor's a little more red, I guess. God, can you imagine trying to navigate this without this map up there? I know I just said that, and I don't mean to harp on it, but holy crap. Don't the graphics look, whether you like it or love it, I guess, don't the graphics just look absolutely, totally, completely, mind-blowingly different on the Jaguar versus the N64? Which you're talking about a similar time period there, and obviously both were 64-bit systems. Well, the Jaguar's a little weird on that. I'd have to dig into it to really have an opinion on which one I believe. But my understanding is there was actually two 32-bit processors that ran the Jaguar. But again, I'd have to look into that. I'm not a Jaguar aficionado. I'm just. This will probably be the last game I play on the Jaguar for a little bit. That sounds horrible, and I don't mean for it to come out like that, but I do have a bunch more Jaguar games, and I am kind of low key collecting for it, which I have been for years, really, just kind of off and on whenever it hits me. Because there's not a ton of games for this console. I'm wanting to say they came out with 50. It was right in that neighborhood, and I think that's just North American numbers, although that might be worldwide. The console really did not do well. Um, there's no music, no ambient sound, even in this game, which kind of surprises me a little bit. I would have thought they would have done a little something. I don't know what's going on. Like I don't even know how to end a level. Like, is there something like a switch? It just didn't explain anything. And I know in a game like Doom, I don't think it explained anything in Doom either, which was a similar type well, it was a first person game where you couldn't look up or down. Um, I feel like there should be something here. Like this feels like the end of a level. Does it not? Like just looking at the map, like I feel like there should be a something like I stand right here or something like right in between these two pillars or like am I in my own ship here? Like what the hell is going on? I mean, well, I've got 20,000 points I guess there in the top center. And what's in the top left? Is that just like a picture of my face? Can I turn invisible yet or heal myself? I'm assuming that's invisible. See, this is one of those things where instruction booklets would be handy if I would bother to like open it up and look at it. But okay, can I walk through like the edge here? Can I get caught? No, okay, no, I can't get stuck on it. That's good to know. Um oh, wait, is this where I came into here? Okay, that I don't think that's where I came into here. I don't want to make up a story. This is where I think this is where I started. And I had those two enemies and I killed them. Maybe this isn't where I started. I don't know, but this is very promising now. Okay, well, I don't feel nearly. Well, okay, no, I feel bad now for ragging on the game. At least it's not all completely that. Um, Although I feel like whenever I go to a corner, and again for the, I mean, okay, like, all right, I'm trying to point something out here. Like literally, I'm pressing forward right now, like this whole time. I'm still pressing up, still pressing up, still pressing up, still pressing up. Now I finally could go around the freaking wall, like literally right there at the center of that. That's impressively bad, to be honest. Um, Looks like I should have something there on the left that says I've got five. Well, at least now I can actually see those things. Okay, so on the right side there, where you see the number one, number two, and number three, that's the keypad across the top. One, two, and three. Those pictures, the number two is I can't tell what that is, but I think that's a shoulder cannon. Um, but see how they're kind of like I assume that's blacked out, but that's the keypad anyway. I just want to let you know. Um, one, two, three, four is the arm thing. Okay, so it's kind of telling you over there. I guess this whole thing what the keypad is, except number five for me doesn't look anything like that thing on the left. Number five is just a plus sign, which I can only assume is health. Click other airlock door first. Close other airlock. Okay, so I thought I said click. Oops. And again, for those of you that do not know the Jaguar controller, this is not an analog stick. Let me just emphasize that. This is a D-pad I'm trying to work with here. Oh, okay, it's pressurizing. Okay, honestly, and I hate to have sounded like I'm down on this, but I feel like I might be able to play this a little bit. Watch me. Yeah, I was gonna say watch some. All right. Well, I don't know. I feel like I you either need to give me some kind of story as to why I don't have weapons, or I feel like I should have weapons right out of the gate. Like, I mean, why am I running around with no weapons and there's no explanation as to what's going on? I was hoping to get through a first level. Oh wait, do I have to go back and? No, okay. But it doesn't look as bad as it did. But I mean, this is still as austere an environment as you can get, just about. But I am glad that it's different than whatever that orange airlock not in use. Do I need to close? I guess maybe I need to close this one. All right, let's try this again. Hmm. Don't know what that means. I was really hoping, like I said, to get through a level. I don't. Hmm. See, the problem is that's the only place I saw. Oh wait, let's bring up the map. Um, Gosh, the doors are so difficult to see on the map. Like, you can't tell whether they're open or closed either, just that they exist right there. You know, there's so many things that one takes for granted with games nowadays that you don't think of having to close doors and something like this, or you don't think of not being able to tell where the you know stuff is. Wow, did my map go away? My map went away that I'd worked on out here. Fantastic. Well, okay. So is the game playable? Yeah, the game's playable. Um, I don't understand any of it. Like, are the Marines actually doing me damage? Because none of the stuff I can tell look like health, except for maybe that bar up in the top right that you can't see um, when you're in this environment down here. So, and I can't see the map of where I just was. I would just really like to know that, like, the story. Like, where am I right now in time and space? Like, what's going? I'll quit harping on it. I'm gonna redo this map real fast because I think that I've seen everything, and I do think this would either be this would be an instruction booklet first type situation, and then if it didn't explain anything to me at all, then it would be an internet Google type. But it left the bodies, so that's good. I mean, at least all the enemies didn't respawn. They're dead. Not only are they dead, but their bodies are still here. So that's interesting to me. Okay, let's head out this way. And I am glad that I've got this, but the it makes for a nice little display piece. The box does with the box art and everything. Although, I feel like the art could have been a little bit better. It looked just like um, the opening screen there that showed the alien and the predator figure. That's what the box art looks like, really. Um, but then the one in the arcade just had me mesmerized. And to this day, I have no idea why that game did not come out on a console. Because it was fun. Anybody out there ever play? I think it was called the Uncanny X-Men in the arcade. It had, I think, four different joysticks. It definitely had at least three joysticks. So it was a larger arcade game. Um, but anyways, I remember playing that, and it was a lot like that. Like, you could pick, but see, in that one, I don't know that you could be the aliens in that game. I want to say you could just be pick between the Marines and the Predator. But I think there were several different Predators you could pick from, if I remember. It seems like there was one that had like a bow staff or something like that. Um, but I think I may have that on my PS1 Classic emulator. Oh my gosh, this is torture. And there's been several Alien vs Predator games out since this one. There was one I think that was on the 360 that was actually pretty good. At least I had fun with it. Okay, so I'm back around to that thing. Let's go back. There was a path I didn't take back here. I just cannot imagine playing this back in the day before maps, and you had to like draw things out. You remember growing up and playing like, I don't know, Zelda or something, and you would draw out these maps of the, well, I guess Zelda's a bad example. Metroid, there we go. Where you would, this is the room with the two pillars. Anyway, like Metroid, where you would literally draw maps, and you'd have this crap all over the friggin' living room floor, just papers everywhere, so you could tell like where you were going, what you were doing, or if you're smart, you had a notebook and you would. But then you didn't. Well, not really, because then you'd have to jump around to different pages depending on which direction you went. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and I feel like I've been everywhere and done all of the things. So I think I'm gonna put it going into this to this video. If you guys want to see the other, wait, okay. If you guys want to see the other things I can be, like the Marine and the Alien, I'm curious, and I'm going to do this off camera, but I'm curious to see the if the graphics look the same. Like, am I going to start in the same exact place with Marines shooting at me, like right from the get go? Which, honestly, that was a little aggravating. It's like I want to be able to just stand there and and see my moves, so to speak. You know, remember that back in the 2D fighter days, back when you would be like, no, back up. I need to try out my moves, dude. Leave me alone. Don't attack me yet. Anyway, okay. Well, I think I have mapped this entire area, and I have no clue what I'm supposed to do. So I'm gonna stop it here, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video for what it was. Again, let me know in the comments if you want me to try it again as a different character. Or just, if you're familiar with the game, you're welcome to yell at me for not doing something that should be obvious. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, and take care.